Every generation searches for happiness, yet somehow, most of us still feel unfulfilled. We chase success, comfort, and motivation, but deep down, something is missing. What if the secret to genuine happiness was discovered over 2,000 years ago and then forgotten? Before psychology, before self-help, there was Aristotle, the philosopher who turned happiness into a science and taught that true fulfillment isn't about pleasure, but purpose. Welcome to Limitless Mindset, where ancient wisdom meets modern personal growth. I'm your host, and today we're unlocking Aristotle's timeless roadmap to human excellence, a system so powerful it's been shaping great minds for over 2 millennia, and it might just change how you think about success, happiness, and the life you're truly capable of living. Welcome back to Limitless Mindset, where we dive deep into the wisdom that actually transforms lives. I'm your host, and today we're exploring one of history's most brilliant minds, Aristotle. Now, before you click away thinking this is some boring philosophy lesson, stick with me because what you're about to learn will revolutionize how you think about success, happiness, and living your best life. Aristotle wasn't just any philosopher. This guy was Alexander the Great's personal tutor, founded his own school, and created frameworks that still govern how we think about ethics, politics, and human psychology today. But here's what makes him special for us in the self-improvement world. He didn't just theorize about the good life, he created a practical system for achieving what he called eudaimonia, often translated as happiness, but really meaning human flourishing at its absolute peak. In his masterwork, the Nicomachean Ethics, Aristotle laid out something revolutionary for his time and ours: the idea that happiness isn't about feeling good in the moment, but about developing your character and living up to your highest potential. While modern positive psychology talks about well-being and growth mindset, Aristotle was there first, showing us that true fulfillment comes from virtue, wisdom, and the cultivation of excellence in everything we do. Why does this matter today? Because we're living in an age of instant gratification, where everyone's looking for the next productivity hack or motivation boost, but still feeling empty inside. Aristotle's approach offers something different, a sustainable path to genuine satisfaction and peak performance that doesn't depend on external circumstances or fleeting emotions. So let's dive into the 4 life-changing lessons from Aristotle's blueprint for human flourishing that you can start applying immediately. Lesson 1 is about the golden mean and finding your personal excellence sweet spot. Aristotle believed that virtue lies in the middle ground between extremes. Take courage, for example. On one extreme, you have cowardice, avoiding all risks and challenges. On the other extreme, you have recklessness, taking dangerous, thoughtless risks. True courage sits right in the middle, taking calculated risks when they serve a greater purpose. Here's a modern example that'll hit home. Think about confidence. We all want to be confident, right? But Aristotle would say that true confidence isn't about being the loudest person in the room or never feeling doubt. That's arrogance. And it's not about shrinking back and never speaking up either. That's insecurity. Real confidence is that sweet spot where you know your worth, you're willing to take intelligent risks, and you can adapt when things don't go as planned. The key insight here is that personal growth isn't about eliminating your weaknesses or maximizing your strengths to an extreme. It's about finding that balanced excellence in each area of your life. Too much focus on work leads to burnout. Too little leads to mediocrity. Too much socializing leaves no time for deep work. Too much isolation kills creativity and connection. Your action step for this week: identify one area of your life where you're living in an extreme. Are you being too passive or too aggressive? Too cautious or too reckless? Too giving or too selfish? Write it down, then consciously practice finding the middle path. If you're too passive at work, speak up once in your next meeting. If you're too aggressive, practice listening more than talking. The golden mean isn't a one-time discovery, it's a daily practice of balanced excellence. Lesson 2 focuses on practical wisdom and becoming your own life strategist. Aristotle called this phronesis, the ability to make good decisions in complex, real-world situations. This isn't book knowledge or technical skills. This is the wisdom that helps you navigate relationships, career decisions, and life challenges with clarity and good judgment. Think about the most successful people you know. They might not be the smartest in terms of raw intelligence, but they have this uncanny ability to read situations, understand people, and make decisions that work out well over time. That's practical wisdom in action. Here's how this applies to your mindset and personal development. Stop looking for one-size-fits-all solutions. The best productivity system is the one that works for your actual life, not the one that sounds best in theory. The right relationship advice depends on your specific situation and the people involved. The career move that's perfect for your friend might be terrible for you. Your action step: start practicing situational awareness and flexible thinking. This week, when you face a decision, ask yourself 3 questions. What are the facts of this specific situation? What are my options and their likely consequences? What would good judgment look like here, even if it goes against what I normally do? Write down your answers and notice how this deeper thinking changes your choices. Lesson 3 is about friendship and building your success network. Aristotle identified 3 types of friendship, and understanding these will revolutionize how you think about relationships and networking. First, there are friendships of utility, relationships based on what people can do for each other. Second, friendships of pleasure, relationships based on having fun together. And third, friendships of virtue, relationships based on mutual respect, shared values, and genuine care for each other's character development. Now, Aristotle wasn't saying the first 2 types are bad. We need professional connections, and we need people to have fun with. But he argued that only friendships of virtue lead to true flourishing and deep satisfaction. Here's where this gets powerful for your success and happiness. Most people approach networking and relationships backwards. They focus on what they can get: contacts, opportunities, social media followers. But the people who build the strongest, most supportive networks focus first on what they can give and who they can become. I've seen this play out countless times. Think about someone in your life who you really respect and enjoy being around. I bet they're not trying to impress you or get something from you. They're genuinely interested in your growth, they celebrate your wins, they offer honest feedback when you need it, and they show up consistently over time. That's a friendship of virtue, and those are the relationships that transform lives. The practical wisdom here is that your network and your character develop together. As you become more virtuous, more honest, more generous, more reliable, more growth-oriented, you naturally attract people who share those values. And being around those people makes you even better. Your action step: audit your relationships using Aristotle's framework. Identify your friendships of virtue, the people who bring out your best and genuinely care about your character development. Make a commitment to invest more time and energy in these relationships. Reach out to one person this week just to check in, offer support, or express gratitude. Then, look at areas where you might be stuck in purely transactional relationships, and ask yourself how you can show up with more virtue, more genuine interest, more generosity, more authenticity. Lesson 4 brings us to the concept of actualizing your potential and living with purpose. Aristotle believed that everything in nature has a telos, an end goal or purpose toward which it naturally develops. For humans, our telos is eudaimonia, flourishing through the realization of our distinctive capacities and virtues. This isn't about finding your passion or following your bliss, it's deeper than that. It's about identifying what you're uniquely capable of contributing to the world and then disciplining yourself to develop those capabilities excellently. Think about it this way. A seed doesn't become happy by trying to be a different plant. It flourishes by becoming the best version of what it naturally is, by growing strong roots, reaching toward the light, and producing the fruit or flowers it's designed to create. Humans flourish the same way, but we have to choose our development consciously. The key insight here is that purpose isn't something you find lying around. It's something you develop through the intersection of your natural talents, your values, and the needs of the world around you. And it requires what Aristotle called habituation, the daily practice of excellence until virtue becomes second nature. Your action step: identify your unique combination of strengths and values. What are you naturally good at? What do you care deeply about? Where do you see needs in the world that resonate with you? Write down the intersection of these three areas. Then, commit to one small action this week that moves you toward expressing more of your authentic purpose, even if you're not ready to make dramatic life changes yet. So let's bring this all together. Aristotle's blueprint for human flourishing gives us 4 powerful principles that are just as relevant today as they were 2,400 years ago. First, excellence comes from finding the golden mean, balanced virtue rather than extremes. Second, practical wisdom helps us navigate complex situations by bridging principles with real-world judgment. Third, relationships of virtue create the network that supports our growth and success. And fourth, actualizing our potential means aligning our unique capabilities with meaningful contribution. But here's what makes Aristotle's approach so powerful for your mindset and personal development journey. This isn't about achieving some final destination of happiness. It's about becoming the kind of person who flourishes naturally, someone whose character, relationships, and choices create sustainable well-being from the inside out. The ancient Greeks had this beautiful concept that excellence is not an act, but a habit. You don't become virtuous by doing one virtuous thing. You become virtuous by practicing virtue until it becomes your natural way of being. You don't build practical wisdom by reading books about decision-making. You build it by making thoughtful decisions consistently over time. This is your challenge for the coming week. Choose one of these 4 principles and commit to practicing it daily. Find your golden mean in one area where you've been living in extremes. Ask deeper questions before making your next important decision. Invest more genuinely in one relationship of virtue. Take one small step toward expressing your authentic purpose. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress toward your highest potential. Aristotle would remind us that we become what we repeatedly do. So make your repeated actions worthy of who you're becoming. If this resonated with you, I'd love to know which principle you're going to focus on this week. Drop a comment below and let me know how you're applying Aristotelian wisdom to your modern life. And if you're hungry for more content that bridges ancient wisdom with practical personal development, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Next week, we're diving into Stoic strategies for emotional resilience that will change how you handle stress forever. Until then, keep growing, keep flourishing, and remember, your potential is truly limitless when you approach it with virtue, wisdom, and purpose. I'll see you in the next video.